Well, guys, it's been an absolute crazy morning, horrible morning to be invested in the precious metals. I'm right here with you. But who are we going to blame? Are we going to blame the COMEX? Should we blame the Chinese? Or should we blame Susie? What the heck? She's not here today. We'll blame Silver Susie. Nonetheless, let's talk about what's going on. Let's talk about what we can expect for the rest of the summer and quite possibly for the rest of the year as well. Hey, it may not be as bad as it feels right now. We may have some things to look forward to. And on top of that, I'll share with you, I actually wrote it down like 4 days ago, where I will consider buying more physical silver. Now, everybody's different. Everybody's in a different situation. Maybe are you thinking about buying some silver today? Let me tell you something good. If you are thinking about buying silver today, you're going to get it for about $1 less per ounce than you would have yesterday. That's what we talk about that, right, guys? Like, if you're going to buy metals, hold on here. I'm going to put my earbuds in case you guys are talking back to me. If you're going to buy metals, it never hurts to buy on a down day, because then you know for sure you're getting a better deal than you did the day before. So if you do decide to buy some metal today, hey, you can say, I could have bought it yesterday and it would have cost me $1 more per ounce. And that's, of course, as if we're talking about silver. So who are we going to blame it on? The COMEX, those dirty COMEX, JP Morgan. We'll look at some of the data, or should we blame it on the Chinese? They seem like a very convenient target lately, don't they? Or is it just natural market forces? Let's go out and take a look at the chart and see just how beautiful it is in the silver price. This is a 5-day chart from our friends at Yahoo Finance. Wow, look at this, guys. It all happened around 9 o'clock last night, right when you went Betty Boom Boom time, right? Right about when we were all snuggling up, ready to go to bed. They decided, look at the volume down here. They decided to sell an unbelievable amount of silver. Wow. It's probably like the equivalent of what, like half the year's mining production or something like that, right? They can sell it. This is electronic silver. Okay, go ahead. Tell me if you can touch some electronic silver. We can't touch electronic silver, can we? We can touch real silver. But look at this. I mean, quite literally from, was that 9:05 p.m. Eastern last night through 11. Took 2 hours to smash down the price of silver. And don't forget, I mean, what's even crazier about this, basement dwellers, huh? I mean, does this feel crazy to you? Because it is. It's crazy. But what's even crazier about it all is that, like, 6 days ago, we were talking about the fight to get through $32 silver. Now, let's go out to our friends at Pinbex and get a quote. I mean, I don't even want to press the magic button, but we will. Okay, now we're only down $1.20 on silver, $27.73. Gold down $32, $2,365 per ounce. It was just 6 days ago, guys, that we were looking at this number. It was what, like $31.50? And I was talking about how we could very well be having a premature fall rally, right? And a late summer rally in the metals when the metals are usually dead. Well, they proved me wrong. And I didn't guarantee that. And you didn't guarantee that either. But they've really proven to us yet again that the summer doldrums for the metals are real. But I want you to think about this, and maybe you did, and we always talk about prudent purchases and dollar cost averaging, but you could have been buying silver 6 days ago at $31 per ounce. And today, I mean, gosh, you can get it for about $4 an ounce cheaper. And if you're going to do that, I would just recommend that you consider comparing what this company, who sponsors Ron's Basement, Pinbex, Pimbex, what they can do for you compared to the other big online bullion dealers. You can check them out for yourself. They got great selection, great service, but the prices for the exact same products that you can get on the other big online bullion dealers, the prices are always, always hard to beat. What I like about Pinbex is you get more metal for your money. And please, please do me a favor. If you ever decide to convert part or all of an IRA into precious metals, talk to the guys at Pimbex. Guys, that area in particular is fraught with traps and potholes. You really want to be careful if you're converting an IRA into precious metals. Shop around. At the end of the day, compare how many ounces of silver, how many ounces of gold, platinum that you're going to get when you convert an IRA between your different options. And I think what you'll find with Pimbex is you might be shocked at what you can get compared to some of those other companies who advertise on the mainstream media with high-priced celebrity spokespeople. Anyway, let's get back to the matter at hand. Pimbex is the best. I think that if you give them a chance, you'll think that as well. Okay. Who are we going to blame? The Chinese? Let's go read this quickly. Here we go. This is out of Kitco. And we'll blame the Chinese. Strong price pressure on gold and silver on demand concerns. So they're saying demand concerns. Gold and silver are trading sharply lower in the early U.S. trading Thursday as worries about lessening global demand for metals on this day trumping any safe haven demand bids amid keener risk aversion in the marketplace at present. Gold prices hit more than a 2-week low and silver dropped to a 2.5-month low. Man, that happened quick. Heavy profit taking and week-long liquidation, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so now they're saying, I guess there's some GDP numbers that came out that, of course, Bidenomics is great. That was not good for gold and silver. But what my sources are telling me, the excuse, they always have to have an excuse for why this is happening, is fear of worldwide economic slowdown. And of course, specifically the Chinese. Okay. Now, we've got big news coming out tomorrow. Tomorrow was supposed to be the biggest day of the week for the precious metals. Let's hope in a bad way it's not, because I'm going to tell you here in a second, I've got a list right here. Okay. On the other side of this sheet that I wrote like 6 days ago about when I will buy more silver. Because if we get disfavorable news tomorrow, excuse me, still fighting off this summer cold, but if we get disfavorable news tomorrow, right? The big news story, the PCE, personal consumption expenditures, I think it's called. That's the Fed's favored. That's what Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve watch closer than anything. And if that shows that inflation is continuing to march higher, that could be bad for the precious metals. Although it's hard after the shellacking that we've received here over the past, 6 days, to imagine that the shellacking could get much worse, but it could, right? But it could. I'm suspecting that we're going to see further, and I don't know, how do you feel about it? They're going to report to us that we've had further progress on the fight on inflation, right? I'm sure you feel that when you go to the grocery store, when you go to the gas station, right? We all feel that. But I think that what we're going to get is a BS low inflation number. I'll go out on a limb because we need something, right? Don't we? We need a little something, especially us silver investors, to be optimistic about. I think tomorrow could be a very good day for the metals, or at least a day where hopefully we stabilize for a little bit. We need to stabilize. Okay. We talked about this weeks and months ago, right? That this summer is tough for the metals. I remember sitting down here telling you, right, 4 weeks ago, if we can hold $26, $27 per ounce through the summer, that we could be set up for what I think could be a spectacular run sometime around the September timeframe. It's hard. I mean, there's so much going on. There's so much happening right now, but hopefully tomorrow, it's you know it, I know it. It's a bunch of BS, but hopefully the BS numbers that they put out on the personal consumption index are going to show us that inflation's slowing down. The market will think that means, the Fed can cut rates. The Fed can cut rates, and we'll be in for some better times, at least some stability in the precious metals markets. Let's all have a drink of coffee. I'm going to put up the, hold on here, guys. Comments. Oh no, I screwed something up. Oh boy. Bear with me. Sorry, guys. How do I do? What happened here? Well, okay. If somebody gave me a super chat, I apologize. There we go. Comments. Why is that not working? Uh-oh. Well, anyway, thank you guys all for being here. Okay, we're going to keep going. Somebody gave a super chat. For some reason, they're not showing up properly today. Are we going to blame? So are we going to blame? Are we going to blame the COMEX? Or are we going to blame the Chinese? Right? I don't know. Let's go check. Let's go check on what silver's doing in China. It's our daily check with the Shanghai Ghost, Oriental Ghost. I apologize. I always say that wrong. So over in China last night, silver, that's AG, closed down almost 6%. $31.05 on the Shanghai Gold Exchange. And the Shanghai Futures Exchange, excuse me, we had gold close at 31.10. So we're about $31 over in China. And let's go back again one more time here and see. We got to do some investigative work. So we're at 31 in China, and we are at let's say 28. They're still $3, still 10% above us. Wow, what the heck is going on? So tomorrow's the PCE. When will I buy more silver? Here we go. Let's get to that. Okay, look, everybody's different. Okay, what we know right now for sure is that you can buy silver for about $4 an ounce, $3 an ounce cheaper than you could have, let's say, 6 days ago. If you bought 6 days ago and you took all your money and piled it into silver, I never recommend that, right? I recommend steady dollar cost averaging, or just, small purchases. I know Mike at Pimbex says something like, make prudent, reasonable purchases. Don't, most people that I know that I respect will not recommend doing everything all at once. That could work out great for you. It could not. But one thing we know for sure, you can buy it today, $4 an ounce cheaper than you could have 6 days ago. I wrote this down about 6 days ago, right when the silver market started to break a little bit. And I got the itch, right? Should I buy? Should I buy? Excuse me. In the first, so I wrote this down that I would buy if the price hit the following 3 levels. The first one I wrote down was, I'm not going to show you them all, 26.50. And honestly, I thought it would never get there. Okay, because I don't need to buy more silver. I've been buying silver for 20 years. Trust me, I have enough silver. Coin Shop Chris always razzing me. You should buy more silver, buy more. I'm like, I'll buy it, I'll buy it if I find something neat that I like. I'm a stacker. I like, 10-ounce bars. I keep it at an offsite location. I like bars. I like sovereign coins, the Krugerrands coins that I can get that are as close to spot as possible. I was always about the most metal I could get for my money, which is why I fell in love with Pimbex. Okay. But so now I was kind of dreaming when I wrote this down. I thought, but if prices were to get to 26.50, I'll buy. Then I said that I would buy another tranche at this level, $25. Okay. Again, I swear on anything that I wrote this 6 days ago, thinking, oh, that would never happen. That kind of seems like that could happen right now. I don't think that it will, but it's definitely much more possible now than it was, let's say, a few days ago. And the final number I wrote on there, and I'm going to tell you right now, $22, which I've said many times. If we hit $22 silver here in the next 6 months, I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm going to warn you. The basement is going to look much more bare because I'm going to sell everything I have to buy silver. Watch out. Okay. So I'll keep you posted. If it gets to 26.50, I'll probably buy some Krugerrands right now. Let's run out. Let's go see what Krugerrands are doing. I'm just curious. And inventories and things available change all the time. So I'm taking a little bit of a risk, but let's go out to Pimbex and see what Krugerrands are doing right now. Okay. And there's that. Where'd I go? There we are. Okay. So Kruger Ann's $30. So what? $2.50 over spot. So this is how I would shop, right? The next thing then that I would look at, because they often have a lower premium, might be a Britannia. Looks like we got more Britannias there. Okay, and you can get Britannia random years, $29. So I might actually skew more toward that, right? Because to me, right now, right, I can buy these Britannias and get one. Okay, so that's if you buy 500 with cash. But I can buy a Britannia coin today, right? Even if I buy, let's say, 20 of them, 25. I don't know, forget how many come in a tube. I would have to check that out. But for lower than what the spot price was 6 days ago. So anyway, that's my thinking on silver right now. Some people are just starting to stack. I would just consider, continuing your dollar cost averaging. I think the fundamentals for silver are absolutely still there. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Think about what's going on with India, right? I mean, remember this big news that broke yesterday? Here's the Silver Academy's take on it. India, the second largest consumer of gold and silver. I disagree with that. I love John Little. I'm joking when I say this, but I have designated India as the precious metals capital of the world. How can we not? Indian households have 25,000 metric tons of gold. Indian grandparents, did you know this? Indian grandparents tell their little Indian grandchildren, they tell them, you should own your body weight in silver. Okay. Import duty slashed by 60%. They were 15% for gold and silver. Now it's 6%. I'm glad he clarified that, because I was thinking about this earlier. I thought, was it just gold they did that for? Or did they do it for silver as well? And they did do it for silver as well. India instituting a silver squeeze. Shanghai vaults will be drained. This will be interesting, guys. And that's a great point that John brings up there with the Silver Academy. How, from a physical purchase perspective, are the Indians and the Chinese? Think if you're in India right now. Excuse me. If you're in India right now, you're already crazy about silver and gold. Now, your government just slashed. I love this graphic. That's great. The duties by 60% on silver and gold. You already love silver and gold. You've been brainwashed by the truth. So that's really not brainwashing, but since you were a child, that silver and gold hold their value. I know a lot of Indian people. They all say the same thing. They all get it. They're like you and me. So let's back up. You and me, we're let's be Indian people. India, living in India. We're Indian people. We're in Mumbai. We love gold and silver. We've been paying these crazy duties and taxes. Or we've been forced to buy. They smuggled a lot of gold and silver into India, and we were forced to buy gold or silver that might have been stuck up somebody's what and smuggled into the country or whatever, right? Anyway, now they've cut these taxes significantly. All right, and remember, Grammy and Grandpa told us that we should own our body weight in silver, so they've cut the duties significantly. But wait, there's more. Huh? Now what else is going on? Yeah, that's right. The price of silver has been smashed down. If you're an Indian person, you're going to run out and buy yourself some silver. There's no other way around it. Oh, and the jewelry. That's the other thing to consider this shows you how big it was. That the jewelry makers in India, because a lot of Indians do their gold investing through gold jewelry. They buy gold jewelry. So this is a big deal. Okay. This is a big deal. What's going to be really interesting about this is to see what happens on the Shanghai. I did it once. Gold exchange. Okay. Are the Chinese and the Indians going to be just taking total advantage of this paper smash? Remember, they did it while we were all sleeping, right? They waited till we all fell asleep last night. And then in a paper market, unicorn fart dust, make-believe silver world, they smashed the price down. The Chinese and the Indians might say, sure, yeah, that's great. We buy, we want. Hey, we'll buy it. We'll buy it. So it's going to be really, we're going to keep a close eye on that. What do you think? All right, let's put 2 and 2 together. Remember, we were living in Mumbai. We're going to go out and buy some silver. Mumbai. We're going to Mumbai. We're going to Mumbai, me and you. I love Indian people. I do not like Indian food. No offense. I love all food. I've never developed a fondness for food. The other type of food that I don't like is North African food. My neighbor from North Africa, and I'm like, I don't get it. Anyway, and that's fine. And I understand people love Indian food. My neighbors are at the pool the other day, and they're like, oh, we got Indian food. And I'm like, ugh. But I get it. I mean, a lot of people love it. I'm not putting anybody down that likes Indian food. I just cannot stand it. Okay, when will I buy more silver? So yeah, I'll keep you posted. Okay, if we get 2650 silver, and I don't tell you guys about some silver I bought, you can unsubscribe and not like me anymore. But for now, I'd really appreciate it if you did something nice, gave this a thumbs up, like the channel. That helps a lot. And you can subscribe. That's free. Okay. Oh, Newmont. Okay, now let's talk about some good things. All right, let's talk about some good things going on. Newmont mining. Could think about this. Could we be in what do you think? Could we be in a situation where if the gold miners start to produce unbelievable amounts of profit and cash flow, that Wall Street is forced to pay attention to the gold and silver sector? Okay. Not just the miners, but as Wall Street starts to pay attention to the gold and silver miners, right, because of unbelievable profits that start coming through, that'll also put more focus onto the metals themselves. They may say, oh, yeah, we kind of forgot about gold. I remember, right, when I first got into the business, people got 5% of their money in gold. Well, let's look at what happened with Newmont last night. Because, hey, there he is. Everybody say hi to Niels. We love Niels. Great guy at Kitco. I don't know him personally, but I really have always liked Niels. Newmont generates only $594 million in free cash flow in Q2. Let me tell you guys, I'm going to educate you quickly on something. When it comes to numbers that you see reported by businesses, cash flow is king. Okay. That shows how much cash actually came into the company, how much cash they generated. Like when the banks report earnings, when any big company, the GAAP, generally accepted. I have a degree in accounting. I worked for one of the big 4 firms. I know what I'm talking about. Those earnings numbers that you see are like Disneyland accounting, especially the banks. It's like, it's not even worth looking at them. It's BS. Okay. Cash is king. Cash shows how much cash, excuse me, the company generated during the quarter. All right. It's like your checking account book, basically. And Newmont's checking account book went up by almost $600 million, guys. That is huge. And they are the world's biggest gold producer. Okay. Continues to fire on all cylinders as robust production and higher gold prices. Okay. This all has to do with higher gold prices. All right. And here we go. Meanwhile, Newmont said that the average realized gold price in the second quarter was $2,347 an ounce, up from $2,090. So in the second quarter, they sold gold at a price which was actually lower, I think. Let's go check. Let's go make sure here. Let's go make sure. 2,361, but let's press the magic Pimbex button. Maybe someday they'll put like a Ron's Basement magic button on there we can press, guys. What do you think? Okay, still we're at $2,364. Newmont sold gold, yeah, at a lower price in the second quarter. All right, and now we're what? Almost all the way through July, and I think the average price, what this means is they generated all this cash because they were selling gold for, and it looks like on average about $250 per ounce more in the second quarter than they did in the first quarter. This is huge. And this is not just Newmont that's going to have this going on. Okay. It's all of the gold mining companies that are producing are going to be making huge profits. Wall Street will be forced to pay attention, and they will pay attention. Hold on, guys. Somebody's texting me like crazy. And, yep. All right. Nothing important. Susie's at her mom's house. I'm like the single dad this morning, so I get a little bit paranoid when the phone. So that could be a good thing right now. What else is going on? And all this is been happening before this crazy price action that we're seeing today. But there's some other interesting developments in the global gold market, and I want to draw your attention to this. This is a chart from Bloomberg, with sources Bloomberg's, okay? Bloomberg's. Global gold ETFs saw inflows 2 months in a row, okay? This shows, let's go back to June of 2023, right? Look at June of 2023. Look at all the outflows of money. The blue is North America. The green is Europe, pink is Asia, and the light blue is other. Okay, look how last year, all the way through December, we had some pretty major outflows into the ETFs. And again, the ETFs are, in theory, supposed to be forced to buy physical metal. When there's money going into the ETFs, they're forced to buy physical metal, which supports the price. When there's money coming out of the ETFs, they're forced to sell metal, which puts downward pressure on the price. And that's what we saw all last year until the last 2 months, where we began to see a net inflow. Okay, now, what's heartbreaking, and that's where the red box is here, what's heartbreaking is that dark blue part down here, North America, still was negative. But overall, on a global basis, we're seeing inflows into the ETFs. And like we talked about before, guys, this is not necessarily just an North American market anymore. The gold market is universal. The silver market is universal, right? I know you're probably like me. It's easy for us to forget that there's a great big world out there. And gold is unique. It's like oil, right? It's universal. It's like water. It's universal. We can talk about the market for the dollar, the ruble. None of those are as universal. They may be big, they may be huge, but none of them are as universal as the gold and silver market. So what goes on a worldwide basis, would it make sense to us that would have a big impact on the market, on the value of the metals, right? I mean, not to mention the fact that they're timeless and everything else. Hold on for a second. I need to blow my nose. Hold on. Man, I have not been sick in like 2 years, and I have the worst summer cold that I think I've ever had in my life. So I apologize, and I appreciate you sticking with me as we get through this. So we got a few more really interesting things to talk about. Congratulations. Hey, we need to be congratulated. I think 70% of you on average are from America. We're about ready to accomplish something very big, my fellow Americans. Very big. You know what it is? Yeah, you know what it is. It'll be happening here in just a few days. Yes. As we look up here in the upper left-hand corner of the U.S. debt clock, we are now at $34,962,000,000. What would that be? $billion. Guys, we're going to hit 35 trillion here soon. What I hope, do you feel this way? You know, what I hope is that when we hit that number, when we hit that $35 trillion level, that there's some more attention paid to what's going on. That the mainstream media starts to pick up on this situation in this country. Because look over here. If you're a taxpayer in this country, right, you basically owe $267,000. Wow. Somebody needs to whisper that in Joe Biden's ear. Okay. Just if you're a normal citizen, I guess that would include my little daughters, twin daughters, who are, I think, still sleeping upstairs. Oh, that's combined $207,000. It's really crazy. We need this. This is why we own silver and gold. Okay, that, and when we go over here just to do our daily, it's going up. Wow. Hold on here. Look at this, guys. It continues. The dollar to silver ratio now at 260. Yeah, we're going to round up, but it is going up and up again. That number compares, okay, the year over year increase in dollars printed money supply to the amount of silver that is produced every year. So for each 1 ounce of silver that's produced, there's 260 US dollars printed or created. And over a 5-year period, it's crazy. Okay. And you can read it right up there at the very top middle. The 5-year average of the yearly increase in the US M2 money supply. Okay. So that's the money that's printed. Bank, this money, the actual money supply out there divided by the yearly production of silver in ounces. Wow. That is just, unbelievable. And of course, the paper to silver ratio still hovering at 403. That means for each 1 ounce of silver that's produced, there's 400 paper contracts created every year. So congratulations, my fellow Americans. We're reaching new highs in debt. Absolutely crazy. And then how do we know? Are you feeling it? Are you feeling like financial stress? Are you feeling that things aren't so good out there in the economy, because they've been gaslighting us. Okay. It's been like 6 days since I shown her. I think she needs a little sunlight. Let's get her out. Right. I got to stop saying right so much. If I say right, and somebody count how many times I say right, it's bugging me. Her. If we believe her, we need to be happy. Everything's great in the economy. Everything's wonderful. You don't have to worry about the national debt. Well, it's a little bit of a problem, but as long as we deal with it sometime in the future, we'll be okay. That's what she's telling. But what if you're just an average American? I'm average. Okay. Are you average? Do you feel, you're exceptional. No doubt about it. All of you basement dwellers are absolutely exceptional people. No doubt about it. But I'm an average guy. I'm not super wealthy. We don't have any debt. Right? I'm lucky. I guess that makes me unaverage, but still I'm trying to raise a family. Susie doesn't work. We're living off what I earn, a little job that I do, a wonderful job I have in the evening that I've been doing for 16 years, the best job in the world. I love it, but it's not a high paying job. I can walk there from my house. I'll tell you more about it some other time. Best place in the world where I get to work at night. Wonderful people, everything else. But it doesn't pay the bills, brother. It provides health insurance and a little bitty paycheck. Because when you try to get health insurance for a family in this country, that's a whole different discussion. But do you feel it, right? And then whatever little bits that I make from this channel, it's interesting right now. And let's look at this. This is scary. This is scary. This is what our politician, this is what our friend, wrong. There we go. We're back. Hopefully I didn't lose you guys. Oh no. Here we go. Here, look at this. Hold on here. Let me ask you something, basement dwellers. Do you sometimes feel like this? I do. I'll be honest. Yes, I do. Do you feel like that? Anyway, this is from Zero Hedge. The percentage of Americans that worry they won't be able to pay their bills is higher than it was during the Great Recession. Now, the first time I read this and added it to my show notes, I said the Great Depression. So I want to make sure you don't make the same mistake. It's worse, not than the Great Depression. It's worse than the Great Recession, okay, which was what happened in 2008. Excuse me. Do you remember how painful the Great Recession was? The years 2008 and the years immediately following were a dark chapter in our history. But a new study has actually found that the percentage of Americans that worry they won't be able to pay their bills is actually higher today. Hold on here. Okay. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Are you still there, basement dwellers? All right. According to a CNN poll that was just released, almost 40% of all U.S. adults say they, quote, say they worry most or, okay, they worry most or all of the time that their family's income won't be enough to meet their expenses. Most or all of the time. That sounds like me. I thought I was the only person that did that. How about you? Do you do it? Do you worry about, well, a lot of you guys are older than me, I know, and there's data about that because it's really shocking to hear how the level of worry is different amongst the different age groups. All right, let's go down here. Ordinary Americans from coast to coast are being absolutely crushed by rising prices, and that isn't going to change anytime soon. It says here, for example, other recent surveys, okay? For example, one discovered that a whopping 71% of Americans are stressed out about their quote-unquote ability to afford everyday expenses. All right. Americans most regularly spend money on groceries, phone bills, utilities, gasoline. I like to say it that way, gasoline. You know what my mom says? And she might be watching right now. She's going to kill me for saying this. My mom and dad are wonderful people, but they don't call, we call them gas stations here in St. Louis. What do you call them? People are from all over the world. But my mom calls, she says, we need to go to the filling station. The filling station. I always give her a hard time. I love her. It's great. I love that she says that, but she always says filling station. And she doesn't go she goes to the movies. They go to the movies. Anyway, and rent and mortgage payments. So yeah, Americans can't, we just can't afford groceries, right? That lady yesterday said, I can't even feed my family regular food because I can't afford it. Grocery bills frustrate Americans more than any other expense. Utilities, rent and mortgage payments, gasoline, and insurance payments round out the top 5 most annoying expenses. Well, you don't have twin 12-year-old daughters like I do. It feels like I'm always either giving Google or Microsoft some money for some type of membership or game thing that they're doing, but that's besides the point. Unsurprisingly, younger generations are being hit particularly hard. Are you? So, oh boy, I guess if you want to be young, you got to really feel like you're being hit particularly hard, right? Listen to this. Financial stress levels are highest amongst millennials, 77%, followed by Gen Z, 75%. And then my generation, I'm Generation X, I think, from 54, 74%. Those darn baby boomers, man. I know a lot of you guys out there and women are baby boomers, and we love you. But man, you had it made, right? You were born right after the United States conquered the world and everything's awesome. Good for you. It's not your fault you were born then, so I'm happy for you. But baby boomers reported experiencing the least financial stress, although almost 60%, okay, or still more than half of those surveyed. Think about where do you fit in there? Are you stressed about money? I'd be curious. Put it in the comment, yes or no. Are you? I'll say yes. Here, I got to put my money where my mouth is. Put my mouth where my money is. Where's the comments? Over here. Oh, you guys, can you see me? I'm down here in the corner. Here, let's go back here. I'm sure you're just dying to see my full. There we go. Are you stressed about money? I'm going to say yes. It's okay. Okay, let's go back. And then I got some, you're not going to believe, I had some unbelievable, our friend Tucker sent this over. Yeah, that Tucker. The real Tucker sent over some unbelievable pictures. This will blow your mind. Today, the typical household spends about 12% of their total income on food and about 33% on housing. Yeah, welcome to America. It really is this country really, it's become like a modern form, and I'm not in any way minimizing what slavery of different previous generations, but it's really become for a lot of Americans like modern day slavery. I mean, if you're just working to barely eat and get some shelter and maybe some decent health care, that's all you're doing is working all the time, 60 hours a week to make that happen. Doesn't that sound like slave? I mean, that's like a form of slavery in my opinion, but I digress. Meanwhile, homelessness in the United States is at the highest level ever recorded and has been growing at the fastest pace ever recorded. I really apologize. I keep coughing, guys. Trust me. I wish I wasn't. It appears to be inevitable that all of this economic pain will have a dramatic impact on the upcoming election. At this point, approximately 3 out of every 5 Americans believe that we are in a recession right now. Do you think we're in a recession? I think we're in a recession. They're so confused. They're so confused. You know, Janet Yellen she doesn't understand. I've heard them say, like, we don't understand why Americans aren't happy about this. Is the greatest economy ever. We're doing great. Joe Biden created 16 million jobs. Well, yeah, that's 16 million jobs that delivering Burger King to drunk college students with DoorDash, because the people that had to take those jobs had to do that just so they could afford to buy some food ingredients from the dollar store, which isn't $1 anymore. It's $1.25. Yeah, no, I mean, look here. Let me tell you the reality. I don't know how you feel about this. Have you noticed? Do you have any friends that are in like the top 2 to 5%? I do. They're doing great. They're going to Italy. They're going to Germany. They're going to Europe. They're living large. They're going out to eat, right? Because the top 2, 3, 4%, they're doing awesome. But guess what? There's another 97% of people. And within that 97%, there's like another 60%, 50% that can barely make ends meet. So, I mean, do you know any of those people? I do, right? And people will be I think when they answer these surveys, they'll be very honest, but out in public, you're getting the best version of everybody's life. That's the way Americans are. We're taught. Do you know that in Europe, they laugh at us? They do. They laugh at us, especially the Germans. They're like, what is wrong with those Americans? And I'm not putting America down, but they're like, Americans always make believe everything's great. Ask them how they're doing. Oh, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Right. I mean, so what you're seeing out there, right? Like when you see that person driving that Nissan Altima down your street, right? They're doing great and they wave at you, right? They're 2023 Nissan Altima. What you don't know is that they can barely afford the payment on that Altima that they're paying 12% interest on. They can barely afford insurance on it, and they sure as heck are having a hard time putting gasoline in it at the filling station. The filling station, Mom. Yeah. That's the reality of what's going on. That's the stark reality. And I'm just what this all leads to eventually, okay, is a big problem. And we're just going to go for a second because I know it's overwhelming. I don't want to overwhelm us. We don't want to be overwhelmed, but it's a big problem with this, right? And all these other numbers on here that are just untenable. They don't work. And then on top of that, okay, you got the American economy, and you and me, right? We're the backbone of the economy. It's a consumer-based economy, right? That's what we're told. The American consumer is the strongest in the world, or consumer. Well, guess what? The American consumer is dying on the vine right now. It's happening, right? They're shriveling up. Okay. Go ask anybody that deals with everyday Americans. Ask the guy at the auto repair shop. Ask the guys. They'll tell you what they tell me. They're like, people are dying in the United States. I mean, look at that data. I mean, this picture, let's go back and look at her again. That's all, I think we need to tell. Oh, I got some good news for you guys too. Darn it. I almost forgot a couple of things of good news. That's America, right? That's a lot of Americans. That's 50% of Americans. All right, let's go We got to talk about a couple fun, exciting things. Oh, man. Yeah. Okay. All right. Here, let's go. Let's look at this from our friend Tucker. All right. He sends me stuff on a regular basis. So thank you, Tucker. Wait till you see this, guys. This is what we could be heading for in the United States. You know, I'm always trying to bring you the breaking up to the minute news. So I've got this article here from the 20th of August, 2018. I wanted to get it to you before it was officially 6 years old. No, but on a serious note, this is interesting. Remember what happened in Venezuela? Remember what happened to the price of silver in Venezuela? Remember, we used to have a lot of fun on the channel. Oh, man, hold on a second. Remember, yep, she's going over here. But let's look. Let's see if I can find it quickly. Stay with me here because we want this. This is my pile of, there's the wedgie, dollar to gasoline. Oh, darn it. Is this it? Well, this is Argentina. Darn it. I thought that was going to be Venezuela. Bear market, bull market. Hold on. I'm going to look through one more time, so guys, see if we can find it. Dollar. Is this it? Banks. Historical. There's the old wedgie. We might be back in the wedgie with silver, right? Shoot. Argentina. Oh, anyway. Wait a minute. Oh, here. Was this it? Here it is. We found it. Thank you for those of you who stuck with me. Back in the day, huh? Yeah. Hold on here. All right. Here we go. I got something to show you guys. Right? We all know Argentina had this. What am I going to do with her? I'll put her over here. All right. Here we go. We all know Argentina had a horrible, not Argentina, Venezuela, Argentina too, but Venezuela. I've never been to Venezuela, but where I work at night, there's a Venezuelan cleaning crew. Mama, I've showed you her before. She's in her 70s, and her son, who looks like he could smush me with his hands. This guy's so big, but he's so cool and so nice. And his wife, all three of them come to clean the building, and they always give me a hug, and they, we kind of speak Spanish, Spanish, English. They love silver and gold. And I always have a piece of silver with me. And I always show it to them. And I forget what they call it, oro, or I don't know. But trust me, they lived through this. Okay. Venezuela had an unbelievable currency collapse. And let me tell you something. I know the United States is bigger, the United States dollar, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, okay, the United States will, and I got an interview with Rick Rule that'll come out tomorrow. I asked him about this. I said, at the end of the day, is the United States subject to the same laws of mathematics as, let's say, Venezuela or Argentina? Right? I think we are, right? Mathematics shows no forgiveness on the altar of truth. That means in the end, you can only manipulate stuff for so long. Does that make sense? Right? You can only say, manipulate your checkbook or manipulate whatever, right? It only goes on for so long. So here's a chart of the silver price per ounce in Venezuelan bolivars. Okay. It went from, this says 36 to 10,000 in 4 months. 4 months. Yes. I want you to look at that for a second. Hold on. Here we are. I think you can, hold on. Let me get rid of this. Banners. End. Thank you to all our sponsors. Don't forget, check out First Mining Gold and our mining sponsor. There they are. Fortuna Mining and First Mining Gold. Okay. Both great companies. All right. Now, this is the chart. Look at this, guys. Okay. This is the price of silver in 4 months. Okay. It went from 36 bolivars all the way up to 10,000 bolivars. That's a 27,700%, 27,000% increase. Okay. Silver. Now let's look at these pictures. Let's get back to this. And this shows you what happens when this occurs. Never could happen in America. Never. Yeah. Yeah. Every paper currency ever created. And do you know that? Do you agree with me? History agrees, I believe, with me. Every paper fiat currency ever created in the history of the world has gone to zero. Okay. And it's just a matter of time until the other ones do. So look at this. And then I got some more good news for you. But here we go. This was from is it BBC? Yeah, BBC. Venezuelan Bolivar. What can it buy you? This is on Monday. Maduro will issue a new currency to manage the country's runaway inflation with the, 1,000,000% inflation. So this is what you could buy. Last Thursday, one chicken cost you 14 million bolivars. Okay. This is why people in Venezuela were paying for things with silver and gold. Okay. Mama told me that. Okay. A roll of toilet paper costs 2.6 million. Isn't that ironic? 3 million bolivars for those carrots. A packet of 1 kilogram rice costs 2.5 million bolivars. Million, who cares? For a packet of sanitary pads, you need 3.5 million bolivars. A kilo of tomatoes would be 5 million. Oh, look at that. A kilogram of cheese, 7.5 million. Wow. Okay, so that's what can happen. And you know what? I want you to look at that chicken, and I want you to think. I want you to think about something with me. That's happening in America. Okay, if we compared what that chicken cost in America, let's say 50 years ago, in stacked up dollar bills, and compared it to what in paper dollar bills that same chicken costs now, I bet it wouldn't be as extreme as this. Was what I'm saying is it's happening, but that's the way these things happen. They happen in slow motion first, right? It's like when they asked, what is it, Hemingway or Jimmy Buffett or whoever it was, how'd you go broke? He said very slowly and then all at once. So, very interesting. Oh, shoot. Hold on, guys. I need to share something with you. I want to share something really happy. Two things that are happy. But first, darn it, I need to update something here on the screen. I'll just let you look at me while I do this. Present. I'm not prepared, but we're going to get there. This will take like 15 seconds. And it's a good life lesson I think we all need to learn. And hold on here. Here we go. All right. Now we got it. Okay. Before we get to that, hopefully this will process and I can show you. Here we go. All right, guys. There we go. Right over there. You see me pointing? That's 16 ounces of Coke. And I'm not talking the Coke that comes in a bottle, and I'm not talking about the other Coke either. That's 16 ounces of Coke Silver, a 10-ounce bar, a 5-ounce bar, and a 1-ounce bar. And I will have a 16-ounce bottle of Coke on the day that we do the giveaway, but this is going to be given away to you on August 31st if you win the giveaway. And to enter the giveaway, there's a link in the description of this and all the videos that says enter giveaway here. And you click on that and it'll take you like 2 minutes at most to enter the giveaway. Okay. August 31st live stream. I believe it's a Saturday. It's on August 31st. It'll be at 10 a.m. Central Time. You can enter that. So you can win that. There's another shot. That's the 10-ounce bar. And then in the distance, you can see the 5-ounce and the 1-ounce bar behind it. It's actually sitting right here. Here, let me show you. Prove to you. I haven't consumed it myself. Here's the 10-ounce Coke bar. Isn't that cool? Really cool. Very nice. And by the way, I forgot to mention, that came from our sponsor, Pimbex. So thank you, Pimbex, for sponsoring that silver. I want to show you a picture. I had something really fun happened to me yesterday, and I want to share this with you because it's what life's all about. We talk about there we go. We're all over the place. I talk to you all the time about being prepared, right? Right? Like we talk about, oh, what if silver goes to $600 an ounce? What if silver goes to $200 an ounce? And I always preach, like, you got to be mentally prepared. And on a day like today, we don't even want to, it doesn't feel like it's going to go that high. But I think we all know eventually, right? Like those pictures from Venezuela that we looked at, right? That's happening here, just in a slow motion basis. And, I'm not predicting that next month or next year, it's a chicken's going to cost $15,000. It could, but I think it's a very, very minimal chance. But I think a chicken's probably going to cost a lot more than it costs in 5 years from now. How much do you think a chicken's going to cost in the United States right now? I don't even know what a whole chicken would cost. Let's say $8, $10, a raw chicken in an average grocery store. What do you think that same chicken's going to cost you 10 years from now? If it costs $10 now, I would say at least 20 or $25, right? Maybe 30 or 40 or 50. So we want to be prepared. And we talk about being prepared for, that's under, I think, the best case. This is not a cooking show. That's under the best case of scenarios that we get this, a steady price increase. However, if we do have major events, and we could have major events, and when you look at that debt clock, we could have like extreme moves in the gold and silver price. And one of the things I always talk about, be prepared, right? And be mentally prepared, but is to have friends. And I want to show you a picture of a friend of mine who showed up yesterday out of the blue. You guys have heard about this character before. He's got to be one of the coolest guys that I've known in my life. I'll be honest with you. Let me pull it up here. Even cooler than silver, right? Because you want to have friends. You want to have a community. And so yesterday, I'm right. Yep, that's what you guys see. I'm getting ready to take my afternoon nippy nap, and I hear a knock on the door, and I'm like, oh shoot, who is it? And I go, and it's this character. This guy, we'll call him Mr. B. He was my mailman for 20 years, and I'll almost tear up telling you this because I'll never forget the day I moved into this house. I went out, and he happened to be driving down the street, and I said, hey, how you doing? He said, I'm your mailman. I said, well, cool. I said, I'm Ron. And he said, okay. He said, well, my name's Bill. And he said, it'll be easy for you to remember that because I'm going to deliver you a lot of bills. Anyway, I got to know him over the years very well. When Evie and Lily, my daughters, were little, I didn't really work during the day. I just had this small job I told you about that I did in the evening that I could walk to if I needed to, right by my house. And so I spent a lot of time out in the yard with my kids. I would see Bill probably 3 or 4 times a week. Always brought a big smile to my face, and we became pretty good friends over those years. And then he retired, and I had his cell number, and he had my number. And anyway, I hadn't seen him in like a year and a half, and he showed up yesterday. And I'm going to tell you what, I'll tell you this, basement dwellers. I'll tell you, that's Bill. I'm sorry, I wasn't going to say his name. He doesn't care. He's the nicest guy, best guy that you ever meet. And I live in an upper middle class neighborhood, right? I always say, if one of my neighbors doesn't know who the mailman is, or thinks they're too good to know who the mailman is, well, then I'm too good to be friends with you, because you got to get to know these people, and it pays big dividends on just a human emotional level. I know my trash man, right? He'll drive by with his big giant truck and, honk his horn, and he always says, whoop-de whoop, whoop, whoop. He told me, he said, you can put anything you want in your trash can, Ronnie, anything, just no human bodies. And when you go to the McDonald's drive-through, I have a McDonald's I can walk to from my house. Always be nice to those people in the drive-through. They're working, they're giving you food, right? So I guess my message here is, this is what you're seeing on your screen. And I don't know why I feel like, but that's what life's all about, right? And I had a big thing. Anyway, that's what life's all about. Get to know these people. That's what a lot of you do here in the in the comment section. Oh boy, hold on. Oh boy. Okay. Mr. DK Shovel, I forgot. Now I can see the super chats. Thank you, Mr. Shovel. I can't read anything today. Mr. Shovel, keep stacking. Thank you, my friend, for the super chat. Super appreciated. Daniel, thank you. Testing. It finally worked. Dan W. All right, look at that smiley face. Thank you. Man, you guys are awesome. Daniel, great show. Thank you. Man, yeah, this is what life's all about, guys. Thank you, Daniel. Oh, look at that puppy dog, huh? And I also want to say thank you to Storytime for the Kleenex Fund. Yeah, I'll get better, guys, okay? And wow, I really appreciate you. I appreciate you being here today, okay? Thank you. Have a great day. And I will see you next time, and things will get better in the silver and gold market. And they're really not all that bad right now. Let's go take a quick look right before we sign off. What the heck? Let's press the Pinbex magic button. Yeah, look at that. Hey, silver's no longer down a whole dollar. We'll take it, right? All right. Thank you, Pinbex. Don't forget, guys. Also, thank you to channel sponsor First Mining Gold. I know I mentioned them earlier, but they're a Canadian gold development company with 2 multi-million ounce projects in Canada, headed by Dan Wilton, founded by Keith Newmeyer. And if you want to talk to the nicest investor relation guy in the world, call Paul or send Paul Morris an email. I have his email address in the description of this video. And Fortuna Mining, right? Major mining company. They're going to put out their earnings, I think it's August 7th. What would that be, like 2 weeks from today? They're like Newmont, right? They are producing, they're not as big as Newmont, but they're a producer. They're producing a ton of gold and silver in Latin America and West Africa. And of course, guys, don't forget Pinbex. If you PIMBEX, don't forget to register for the giveaway. Don't forget, if you want to get your hands on some gold or silver, I can guarantee you one thing. If you buy it today, you're getting a much better deal than you did if you bought it 3 or 4 days ago. Have a great one. Thanks for putting up with me. You're always welcome in the basement, okay? On behalf of Susie and myself, thank you to all the moderators who are putting up with this. We really appreciate you, okay? Jake, Annie, Big Tim, the Silver Shire, and of course, Silver Susie. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.